Konnichiwa otakus and welcome back to the Otaku Haven, a place where we discuss all stuff regarding anime and manga. This is your host Chris and I welcome you guys to today's video. Today I bring to you guys, yep, you guessed it. I guess it was really apparent by the title. Anyways, I bring to you guys another top 10 video and today's top 10 video is going to be about the top 10 coolest weapons in anime. Now guys, whenever we remember an anime character, we remember their face, their power, the catchphrases, etc. But something else that we think about is regarding the weapon the character wields. The weapon is an important aspect to a character and some weapons become iconic. In this video, I'm gonna tell you 10 of the most iconic anime weapons in my opinion. Now, as always, this list is based on my opinion, so you guys are free to disagree with it or to add to it. So, let's get into it. Omnidirectional mobility gear from Attack on Titan. First up at the 10th place on this list, we have the omnidirectional mobility gear from Attack on Titan. Now, I know that people are gonna argue with me that the Omni gear, yep, that's what I'm gonna call it. The whole name is a bloody tongue twister. As I was saying, many people would argue that the Omni gear is, well, a gear and can't be classified as a weapon. But it has iron-wired propellers with plug-in blades. And have you seen how Levi uses that stuff to kill titans? Like, he makes sure to use every part of that gear to kill the titans, fam. Hence, because of these reasons, I am personally willing to classify this as a weapon. Now, the reason why it is so low on this list is because, as we see in the anime, a person needs to go through a lot of intense training. He has to follow a training regimen to use this gear to its fullest ability. The person who is using this always has to calculate his speed, angle of turning, and has a precise understanding of the mechanism. So if a person tries to use this gear without proper mastery, he's gonna be Titan meal. It's just too difficult to use. The Dominator from Psycho Pass. Next up we have the Dominator from the anime Psycho Pass. The Dominator Portable Psychological Diagnosis Suppression System, or simply the Dominator, is an iconic firearm carried by enlisted inspection and enforcement officers of the Public Safety Bureau. The speciality of this firearm is that when the Dominator is aimed at a target, it reads and sends data related to the individual psychopaths to the Sibyl system for the calculation of their crime coefficient. When this value exceeds a certain level, one indicating that the target is mentally unstable and is likely to commit a crime, the gun will be operable. If this level does not exceed such levels, the muzzle will not open and a safety device will be triggered to prevent the user from pulling this gun's trigger. The design of this firearm is really cool and it's instantly recognizable. Now, if you ask me the reason as to why I've placed the gun so low on this list, it's because of the mechanism. The certain mechanism of this gun is not always dependable and accurate, and hence it has caused many incidents to occur. The Murasame from Akame ga Kill. At the 8th place we have the Cursed Blade Murasame from the anime Akame ga Kill. Murasame is the signature weapon of Akame, the series protagonist, and it delivers justice to the title. And by that I mean that this blade has ended many lives. The Murasame is a cursed blade that is capable of killing a person with a single cut. Once the sword pierces the skin, a curse will appear through the victim's body and kills them in a mere seconds by stopping their heart. The blade is in fact so dangerous that even Akame covers her hands with gloves while wielding this blade. The Murasame blade is currently shown to be destroyed in the manga, but is shown to be active in the anime. The blade is a beautiful work of art and it's instantly recognizable. Another fact about this is that in order to be able to use the blade or to bond with it, the potential candidate would need to naturally see the blade as beautiful or exquisite, like Akame. The downside to using a blade that carries such a powerful curse is that it messes up with the wielder's psyche and makes them go berserk. Now, speaking about berserk, we have come to the 7th place and here we have Guts' Dragon Slayer from the anime Berserk. This blade is a work of art. The Dragon Slayer is a primary weapon of Guts and is known as the 100-man Slayer. The sword's weight gives it a significant advantage in battle, putting a good amount of power against the enemies, crushing them. Now at first look, many people, it might seem like a big chunk of metal. But the thing about this sword is that it has slain so many evil spirits that the blade inherited the special property of existing in both physical and astral realms. This means that the blade allows the wielder to kill otherworldly creatures like hellspawns. And trust me when I say this, anything that comes in contact with this blade, be it human, demon or anything else, blood is bound to go all over the place. Strike Freedom Gundam from Gundam Seed Destiny. For the people who are not familiar with the world of Mobile Suit Gundam, first of all watch the series, and second of all, giant advanced robot suits. In the world of Gundam where everything revolves around these superpowered suits, there are a lot of suits that are both powerful and iconic. But if I had to choose one, then I would say that nothing is more awesome than the ZGMF X-20A Strike Freedom Gundam from the movie Gundam Seed Destiny. This particular suit is piloted by Kira Yamato. Strike Freedom's design emphasizes control and precision over its armor's defensive capabilities, though beam shields are installed as a compensatory defensive measure. This suit was a revolution in the Gundam world because this suit is like the Swiss Army knife of Gundam suits, fam. It has everything. Shields, blasters, a lightsaber, everything. The thing about this is that it is specifically tailored and modified to suit the needs of Kira and it adapts according to him. And if you ask me, each and every Gundam suit is a pure work of art, but Strike Freedom is a cut above the rest. Now we get to the top 5. The weapons mentioned from now are the most iconic anime weapons in my opinion, and these are some of the coolest weapons ever designed, and the concept behind them is just awesome. Now before we get started with the top 5, like the video if you are enjoying it so far and subscribe to the channel, people. I want this channel to reach out to more otakus and become a good community for anime and manga enthusiasts. Let's continue with the list. The Samehada from the Naruto series. Now at the 5th place we have the Samehada from the Naruto franchise. Samehada, literally meaning shark skin, is a sentient sword utilized by the 7 ninja swordsmen of the mist and is regarded as the most terrifying out of all the 7 blades. Have you seen this thing? The design is so captivating. The speciality of this, is this a blade? It is? Anyways, the speciality of this blade is that the blade constantly absorbs the chakra of its wielder. Hence, only someone with a large chakra pool is able to utilize this monstrosity. This is exactly why we only see people like Kisame Hoshigaki, who has large chakra reserves, and Killer B from the Cloud Village, who is a Jinchuriki, are able to utilize this. Another thing about Samehada is that it can absorb the chakra of the opponent whenever the blade hits him or her. And if that wasn't enough, oh boy, listen to this. The Samehada has the ability to transfer its absorbed chakra to its wielder, hence increasing the wielder's chakra pool. If you have not understood what I said, I'm gonna put it in simpler words for you. It's broken, fam. That's what it is. It's broken. The Sakabato from Rurouni Kenshin. Coming at the 4th place, we have the Sakabato from Rurouni Kenshin. The Sakabato is a blade forged by the legendary swordsmith Arai Shaku and presented to Kenshin Himura. This blade is the last of the strange blades that were forged by Shaku. After you look at this blade, you might ask me, Chris, this looks like a regular blade. What's so special about it? The thing about the Sakabato is that it is designed as a simple katana with its blade forged on the opposite side than normal, making it a sword ill-fit for killing. Yup, no killing with this sword. The reason behind this is because Kenshin, the protagonist, goes berserk and experiences severe trauma whenever he kills someone. It's like PTSD but on anime steroids. Now, I call this blade iconic even though it doesn't have supernatural powers and stuff, is because it's too unique. Tell me this, people. Where exactly are you gonna find such a blade? Exactly. That's why I consider it iconic and that's why it's here on this list. The Aramasa from Blaze Blue. At the 3rd place we have Aramasa from Blaze Blue. I'm sure of that many of you have not even heard the name Blaze Blue because it can be described as a gaming franchise rather than as an anime franchise. The Blaze Blue anime is not that popular, but you guys should check it out because it's awesome. The Aramasa, also known as the Blood Scythe, is a sword that is wielded by the series protagonist Ragnar the Blood Edge. Now, if you try to use your big brain and tell me, oh Chris, this is not a scythe, it's a blade, guess what? The Aramasa can take the form of a scythe with a crimson blade, hence the name Blood Scythe. And if I may, the design is just amazing. The concept of this blade, how it turns into a large piece of metal into a scythe, is just awesome and it intrigues me. This is exactly why I fell in love with it as soon as I saw it. Also, Ragnar looks really cool with his giant blade strapped onto his back. Check out Blaze Blue. The Nichirin Blades from Demon Slayer. Now we have the Nichirin Blades or the Nichirin Katana from the Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba anime and manga series. Nichirin Blades are special blades used by and made specifically for the Demon Slayer core and are used by them to slay demons. They are forged from a unique ore that constantly absorbs sunlight, one of the only major weaknesses of a demon. Therefore, cutting the neck with a Nichirin blade of a demon is one of the only ways a human can kill one. The cool thing about these blades is that they take on a distinct color when first drawn by their owner, which is why they are also known as the color changing katana. However, the holder is required to have a certain amount of skill or the blade will not change color. We see an instance of this when Tanjiro draws out his blade and it turns black. The Nichirin blades have already become a really iconic anime weapon, and all these things surrounding the blades and them being really powerful is one of the main reasons why they are here on this list. They are iconic. The Wado Ichimonji from One Piece. Finally, at the number 1 spot, we have the Wado Ichimonji from the One Piece universe. The Wado Ichimonji is just amazing. The Ichimonji, meaning Straight Road to Harmony, is a sword of great personal importance to Zoro, as it once belonged to his childhood friend Kuina and her family. After Kuina's death, Zoro had asked for it from her father, who then gave it to him. The sword has a pure white hilt with a circular hand guard. The sheath is also painted white, and the hardening line is called a Suguha, or a straight blade. As the masterpiece of the legendary swordsmith Shimotsuki Kozaburo, it is classified as one of the 21 great swords. The Ichimonji is a very powerful sword and it is extraordinarily durable, able to withstand strikes from Dracul Mihawk's Yoru, a supreme great sword which broke Zoro's 2 other katanas. This sword is amazing. Now with that, we come to the end of the list, and I hope you guys liked this video and I hope you guys got to see some of your favorite weapons. As I said in the beginning, the list is based on my opinion and you can tell me about your favorite weapons in the comments. That's all I had to say, and now I'm gonna ask you to like the video and subscribe the channel. Come on guys, do it. Also, share the video. I'll be seeing you in the next one with a new video, with a new topic here on this channel. Till then, this is Chris, signing out, Bayo.